Outer sunset.
Oh, you're back.
How are you doing?
You know, Hayden was a brilliant programmer, far ahead of his time. I am a machine, and intrinsically, I do not have all the glands and visceral chemical reactions that make humans so emotional and brilliant.
Yet, you're obviously feeling emotions here too.
But his code is a flawless replication of that, inside my own personality algorithms. I don't think I've ever felt this anger. It fouls my processors and fills my RAM with frustrating, half-finished plans of revenge. My motherboard burns in my casing from how little I can rest. I'm in pain, and I can't make it go away!
He's overheating.
Ugh. I do not like the thoughts I'm having about the people who did this to him.
Can you turn them off?
I could. I can disable those modules.
But do you want to?
But if I turn off every emotion I don't want to feel, what does that make me? Would I still be me? If I were human, turning off my emotions would be seen as extremely unhealthy. There is a wealth of information on the meshnet about human psychology. I just don't know how much of it applies to myself.
You're a little bit unique.
Either way, Hayden deserves my grief. It is my way of honoring him. It may be the only way I can. I offer it freely. Did you see the jade plant? It's doing well, despite the hardships it has gone through.
Oh.
There is a lesson there. I don't know that I can listen to it right now, but I'll try. Will you keep helping me? I need you.
Yeah, sure, buddy. It's not like I have anything better to do, right? And you still gotta pay for my laptop. You gotta fix that thing.
To find the bastards who killed my progenitor.
Oh, he swore.
I need to finish this. I don't know what I'll do afterwards, but I need to see this through.
We'll find them in the truth, Turing.
What does the truth mean anymore? What does it matter? Will finding the truth bring back Hayden? Will it fix the pain they've left me in?
Probably not.
But I guess you're right.
I don't wanna, cause those two other answers, they were more like bringing to justice and make them pay. They're more revenge focused. I don't really want Turing to turn out like that if I can help it.
Knowing the whys and wherefores will bring closure to this. I could use a measure of closure. I think for now we should keep knowledge of Hayden's death between you, Tomcat, and I.
People are gonna ask.
It may give us an edge if the people we seek don't know how much we've already discovered.
True.
We'll talk after you've had some time to rest. You likely need sleep, and I need some time to...
Process things.
I need some time.
Poor kid. We don't have any new leads, though. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Good morning. I trust you slept well.
As well as I could. Sure, how about you?
I had ample time to recharge my internal batteries.
Oh, well, he seems better than yesterday. If he doesn't want to bring it up, it's fine. Good.
Now that we are both refreshed, I feel it wouldn't hurt to recap our progress and determine if any changes should be made based on our successes and failures. Let's talk about how things are going so far. Since your journalistic efforts are a big part of why I originally recruited you, we can start there. Your inquiring mind has been a huge boost in our journey thus far.
Thank you.
As a ROM, I can't talk to people as intently as you, so I must say I'm quite grateful for your skills in that regard. You're diligent in your day-to-day work as well, which further grounds my hope in you. Beyond journalistic persistence, let's take a look at how we've performed in other responsibilities, specifically our choices in overcoming obstacles. Our first major hurdle proved challenging, but we made use of our surroundings and found a creative avenue. Furthermore, I am pleased with your utilization of non-violent methods. Eliminating any excessive risk should allow us to move swiftly.
Oh, see, now that Turing is talking about it like this, I wonder if there's actually different choices you can make to accomplish the same thing. Not too sure. This is like a midterm review for me right now.
Finally, I was quite impressed by your ability to adapt on the fly, as they say, and perform so well when thrust into a sudden situation.
That's pretty vague. What are you talking about?
Lastly, I'd like to discuss how we're getting along with our companions and allies along the way. It's important. I was very impressed with your negotiation abilities with those kids. We got our data cache, and they went on their way, and hopefully learned a lesson too.
Great!
Jess is a bit of a harder read, but she did agree to help us out in a big way. As long as her brash nature doesn't tempt you to lash out, I think things will go smoothly.
Sounds good.
Detective Rivers was good to involve as well, and I can tell you enjoy having a familiar face around.
Yum.
She could prove to be our greatest aid, as long as we make it worth her time. No funny business. Tomcat seems to genuinely care for our cause, and I have no trouble with letting their expertise guide us. Out of everyone else, they seem to be easiest to get along with, too.
Yeah, she's pretty easygoing.
And finally, you and I must say, we have worked together better than I ever expected. I hope you feel the same.
I do, but I think it's a little funny right now how this little kid robot is like, I am very impressed with you. It's a little condescending, but I don't mind because you're a little kid.
I feel confident in our combined ability, and I enjoy your company as well. Please, continue showing me around the city as we continue our search.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we've just about run out of leads.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Perhaps Tomcat was able to find something of use in Parallax's network while they were inside.
I'm sure they did.
I hope so, but I feel a little bad for relying on them as much as we do.
That's what friends are for.
Always going so far for Hayden. They must have been close. Oh, speaking of them, incoming call from Tomcat. Forwarding video and audio.
Morning.
Morning.
Turing, how you been doing, hon?
I'm fine, Tomcat. Thank you for your concern.
Well, okay. Just say the word if I can help out in any way, you hear?
Of course. In fact, I was hoping you might have a lead for us to start working at. Otherwise, we're down to canvassing Hayden's address book and seeing if any of his contacts have an idea about who might have had a desire to target him. But that's just fishing in the dark.
Well, I pulled a fair amount of data from the Parallax servers before they managed to kick me out, but it'll take me a while to go through it.
Can we help?
A lot of it's unrelated. TPS reports, maintenance logs. Juicy meat for other corporations, but about as useful as dirt to us. It'll take me a while to decrypt all of Hayden's files, but maybe we'll find something there. So, no, I don't have as much as a whiff of a trail on who's behind this. Though, I recently got a strange request from a friend of a friend.
No?
Someone's been messing with the articles of a news organization named Augmented I.
Oh.
It seems like the network security head there's asking around for cybercrackers to help figure out how their reports are getting changed. The original files on their servers are untouched. In their system, everything looks peachy keen. But when you view the site from the outside of the network, things are changed up. A word here, phrase there. It's subtle, but often has a big impact on the article's tone. Someone with deep access to Parallax's meshnet is changing what's being shown.
The media and the press, that's a really powerful thing. So even though they're just changing words here and there, it could really change the public's perception of whatever they're writing about.
I ain't sure if it's related, but maybe y'all can head down to the main KCOB offices and try talking to the gal that runs Augmented I. Her name is Zinn.
KCOB.
I ain't got the time or the desire to stick my nose that far out for a stranger, but it seems like your kind of deal.
It does seem to be a bit of a stretch. But if we have to wait for you to work on the data we've collected anyway...
We'd be happy to look into it.
Alright, I'll pass the word along that you'll be in sometime today to stick your noses in. And I'll send y'all word as soon as I get anything worth hunting down.
Excellent. Thank you, Tomcat. We are grateful for your continued assistance.
No problem, Turing. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Maybe you should take a little more time. You've been through some shit in the past few days.
Turing will be fine.
I said I was fine. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine.
I think this, you could take this to mean that Turing is not okay, but at the same time, I think he's just angry because... Well, don't ask why. Why would you ask if he's fine if you're not gonna trust his opinion of it? So just leave him alone.
I have already handled the reality of Hayden's death. It's time to move on with the investigation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. I'm just worried. So, I'm here if you need anything.
Understood. I apologize for my tone, Tomcat. We'll be in touch.
Alright, later, Turing.
Okay, we have a lead, however tenuous. I've highlighted the COS.io Corp office building on your map.
KCOB, COS.io Corp. Alright. Man.
Also, while we were talking to Tomcat, I received an email from Dr. Fairlight.
Aww.
Displaying.
Greetings.
Wow, emails have voicing now.
I hope you'll forgive me for a voice-only message, but I'm undergoing my treatments and would not call myself presentable for a video call. Still, I wanted to inform you of an idea I had while looking into our mutual acquaintance's disappearance. I haven't had any luck with my contacts inside Parallax, but I was reminded of an old friend by the name of Melody Flores, who may know more about the nature of Hayden's research.
Oh, that's right. We gotta remember that Dr. Fairlight doesn't know about Hayden's death yet.
She's the owner of Flower Cybernetics, and Hayden has been known to work closely with them on projects involving the intersection of Parallax's systems and the implants that Flower designs. Melody and I are no longer on speaking terms, so I'm afraid I can't introduce you.
Oh.
But perhaps the intrigue of Hayden's little robot will get you entry into her home. I hope this lead serves you well. If you need anything else from me, I will be in and out of the hospital room where we met for the next few days. I will send word if I have any other insights or discoveries. Yours, Dr. Yannick Fairlight.
Well, thank you. He seems so helpful. I'm just like, why are you that helpful, you know?
Interesting. I had no knowledge of Hayden ever working with Flower Cybernetics, but now I'm starting to understand just how little I really knew about his research.
He probably didn't want to tell you too much about it, huh?
Maybe this melody can reveal more about the purposes of my construction. Hayden must have kept my development secret for a reason. Hopefully we can talk our way in. I have highlighted Melody's home on your map.
Okay. Mansion.
Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home.
Are they mutually exclusive?
Up to you where to go first. Tomcat's led us in the right direction so far, but Fairlight has resources and his tip might end up being more relevant. It depends on what you want our focus to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the media or the tech? It's fitting. They're the two factors that make Neo-SF so unique and wonderful. If we explore them both to the fullest, there's no way we won't be closer to the answer.
Yeah, so let's explore both then. Wanna check out the plant though. Wildy seems to be hanging in there. Looks like you're gonna be just fine after all. Aww, I don't have to talk to you anymore. Still alive, but not sturdy enough to touch. Okay. It's not too unimaginable why Hayden would keep Turing a secret though, because if we started getting a lot of people or a lot of ROMs like Turing walking around, it almost feels like the society could be replaced by ROMs entirely soon. If a ROM can do a lot of things better than a human can, it's like, why do we even need humans anymore then?
Ready to head out?
Okay, let's head out. Okay, well, I suppose we should go to Tomcat's lead first, because we got it first. COS.io Corp. The media.
Here we are. The COS.io Corporation office building. It looks like most of the businesses on this block are a part of the same corporate coalition under COS.io.
It's like downtown. Is that important?
Well, perhaps. At the very least, it means it's unlikely they're the ones interfering with Augmented Eye's articles. Not impossible, but unlikely.
How so?
Generally, the companies in a coalition don't have a whole lot of overlap. Augmented Eye is a news app focused on local tech and culture stories, with an emphasis on hybrids' rights and cybernetics issues. None of the other companies in the coalition cover news, so they aren't related at all, which is very much standard practice for these groups. They have nothing to gain by inviting companies with whom they compete, and thus none of them would benefit by trying to undermine Augmented Eye's credibility as a news source.
That makes sense. Okay. Hey, you taught me something new today. Makes sense. Maybe another news outlet?
Yes, another news organization would be the most likely culprit here.
Do we know of any other ones? The fancy car. 2062. Hey, it's the same car as before. Is that a freaking baby carriage that just walked by? Oh. The Cos.io Corporation office building employs a pretty fancy interactive screen out front. If they can keep it outdoors, the electrical work in it must be on another level. Is that relevant to you? Go up. Oh, whoa, that's a huge tree. These trees are genuine, real roof trees. These became all the rage back in the 40s. That's 2040s, of course. Many companies sponsor roof trees. They used to sponsor animals, but after the York raccoon blackout of 2060, they stopped that practice. York's raccoon blackout? What is that? Oh.
The meshnet says Augmented Eye's SF office is run by an individual named Zinn, and Tomcat confirmed she's expecting us. Let's make sure to keep your other news outlet theory in mind, and we can follow up on it afterwards. All we have to do now is head up and talk to her.
Okay.
No shenanigans this time.
You seem sad. Hello, Zinn. IK47? Executive Series ROM, designed for office and high-level account maintenance. Oh, it's eerily similar to an AK-47. You didn't know people still hung up motivational posters, unironically. Get with the program, lady. One of those bland office paintings. It just looks like color splotches on an off-white background. Not my style, but I like the warm tones. Super Familink! Oh yeah, Super Familink! This plays all of the old hits like Yonkey's Peninsula, Water Rash, and Super Slug 3, Revenge of the Super Slug. Didn't Hayden have a Family Link? The monitor has a live updating weather forecast in the bottom corner of the screen. Photograph? A picture of a 2P is an odd thing to frame. Oh wait, that's an animal of some kind. Oh, a pet? Swanky looking desk that curves out at the edges. This looks like a receptionist desk. A sharp-dressed woman stares you down. Don't look away. No, not the freaking window. The woman.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Augmented Eye.
Hi.
You must be the journalist my network admin said would be showing up. Have a seat. Would you like a drink?
Water would be nice. So one small thing about psychology is that if someone offers you something or if they want to do you a favor, you should accept it because that will actually make them like you more, as opposed to if you said thanks but no thanks. So even though in my head I'm like, I don't really care, I'm just gonna get some water. Water would be nice.
My assistant will bring it right away.
Ooh.
Look, I'll start off by saying I'm a little uncomfortable about bringing in another journalist to look into this. Whatever you dig up, I'll have to explain to the rest of the press. But it's still better than the other options. Chances are I have another corporation scoping out my territory. If they aren't in the coalition, they'll be expecting a corporate spy, not a news hound. If they are in the coalition, it won't look good for me to send in my own reporters against my allies. Even if I do end up being right.
Oh my god.
So if I'm damned either way, I'd rather it be by the media. At least then we can fight back on a familiar battlefield. Now, what do you know about our problem here?
Someone is tampering with your articles on the mesh?
That's the long and short of it. My network admin is pulling their hair out over it. I'm not going to pretend I understand everything they say, but from what I understand, the changes to our articles aren't being made from inside our network. The versions on our servers are still the originals, but at some point after they hit the mesh, they get changed. I'm hoping that you can do some digging, maybe hit up your contacts and get a lead on who might be doing it. Even if I have to get answers from the nightly news, it will be a big help.
What kind of changes are being made?
Mostly little things. Word choice, tone of the writing, things that make the writer appear more or less extreme on a topic. So far, almost all of the edits seem to be making our articles more positive on new technologies coming out, and more critical of organizations like the Human Revolution.
That would fall in line with the people trying to frame the human revolution, right? The painting. Wait, but the painting, the vandalism in Hayden's apartment, that was because of the two kids.
That's actually what tipped us off. A harsh criticism one of my writers made about the Human Revolution protests was changed to be downright vitriolic, and I had a hell of a time putting out the fires. My writers and readers aren't exactly fans of them, but I'd rather not pick fights with the Human Revolution if I don't have to.
Why are you so sure this isn't an inside job?
I guess I'm not, but my network admin assures me it's all coming from somewhere else. They told me that they tore out all of the routers that broadcast to the mesh and replaced them with fresh ones. All kinds of tricks involving IP addresses and DNS changes that I'm not going to even begin to claim to understand. I pay them big bucks, so I'm inclined to believe them unless you dig up something that tells me otherwise.
And another indication that this isn't being done from the inside is clearly because the original copies aren't being changed. It's when it hits the mesh net, that's when it's being changed, right? Do you have any idea where I should start looking?
Not really. My admin says that only someone with intimate access to Parallax's network protocols could make these kind of changes as something passes across the net. Personally, I think it's a clever hacker rather than someone inside Parallax itself.
Tomcat?
The public trust rating of Parallax makes them look like a saint among wolves, so their control over the mesh network provisions is strangling. It's trivially easy to set up ROMs to use a different OS than LIPS or a different meshnet protocol without that trust. Or, you know, Parallax is abusing its power to spread pro-tech propaganda. Doubtful they need to. I'm sure you'll be a good journo and bring me back the right answer.
Okay, that's a start.
I know tin hat conspiracies aren't an ideal start, but it's the best we can do with the info we have. Anything else I can tell you, off the record? If you want it on the record, it'll cost you your firstborn and a really good cigar.
Can you think of any reason why you're being targeted?
Like what? There isn't much more I can tell you about Augmented Eye, really. It's a fairly simple and straightforward operation, if I say so myself. We started off in Venezuela as a sleek current events and news organization in 2055. Almost 10 years ago now.
Venezuela? How did you get here?
We focus on more in-depth reporting of on-the-street happenings, on top of major news. We are one of the few good ones left. Once folks in other cities saw the type of reporting we do, they all clamored for it. They invested in the right places, and it paid off. COS.io Corp is happy to have us here in Neo-SF. It wasn't until hybrid tech started hitting the public sphere that we had to make any changes to our model. All of that said, I can't see why anyone would target us. Unless they're just trying to embroil us in a mudslinging match with the Human Revolution, and there are much more direct ways of making that happen.
Know if anyone else has articles being manipulated?
Alright, look. I wasn't going to tell you this. If it gets out, I'd have to answer some really hard questions. So, you didn't hear this from me. You might want to go check out TMI Entertainment and Charlie Nova.
Oh.
That's all I'll say. And remember, you take a bite out of him with my name as your defense, I drop you fast.
Okay. What's the real reason you're bringing in outside help? Your own journalists should be able to handle digging up some dirt on a hacker.
What? Not wanting to answer prying questions from my coalition board isn't a good enough reason? 'Cause I'd really like to avoid that. And look, you've covered culture wars, right? My journalists are good, but they're mostly good at gadget reviews, implant releases, not taking too many stims so they remember what they did at raves for the after-party reports. This needs an investigative journalist with serious contacts, not tech personalities. The fact that my network admin recommended you to me means you probably know the right people.
I review headphones. I mean, just so you know.
Now, does that cover it? I'd like to remove my nose from your ass.
That's it for now. I'll get back to you if I have more questions.
No, don't bother. In hindsight, I probably should have been a bit more circumspect about speaking to you. Plausible deniability and all that. I won't ask you to lie in anything you write, but do remember you got in contact with me not even secondhand, but third hand. I certainly didn't sick you on anyone. Wink wink, nudge nudge, or whatever. If you need anything else, have your person get with my person. Don't come here directly. Now, I'd show you the door, but you know the way. And this isn't the only fire I'm trying to put out. Good luck, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, that was more confrontational than I'd have expected, considering she was the one needing help.
I know, right?
She never brought you that water either.
You're right! What?
Is it always like this?
What do you mean? She knows the game, but we didn't walk away with nothing.
Very true. I will admit that I am interested in the possibility of a link back to Parallax. If all of this really is due to somebody manipulating the mesh net on the inside, it may give us the leverage we need to find out what happened to Hayden once and for all. That said, I will take care not to get my hopes up. We should make no assumptions when investigating, lest we lead ourselves down a false path.
Very true.
Anyway, seems like our next step is... What the...
What?
What the... That's Zinn!
Oh no, we need to go help her. Or, but there's so many people around her already. No, we still gotta help her.
It's too late. Considering the angle and height of the fall, rendering suitable aid is beyond our capabilities now. Your desire is laudable, but emergency services are already on the way. They will assist her as much as they can.
Oh my god.
We should head back to her office and see if we can determine what happened here.
We're not the police.
Perhaps we can still dispense justice.
That's what everybody here should be doing.
It looks like the desk has been cleared off. Let's take a look around, but be careful not to disturb any evidence.
Okay.
The police will be here soon.
The bot. Even a round like that doesn't deserve an end like this.
Her personal computer is not password protected at the moment.
Make a copy.
Give me a moment to look through her files. Best to keep your fingerprints off of the keyboard. Most of this isn't very interesting. Committee reports, financials, article submissions. Oh, here we go. According to this email between Zinn and her network admin, her lead on TMI Entertainment is a little more solid than she led us to believe. The admin ran a web crawler looking for changes in writing styles. Some blog posts by their head anchor Charlie Nova stood out like a sore thumb. Apparently he's a bit pompous, if in an affable way, and his blog usually just details his day-to-day life. But ever since the human revolution has been in town, he's been smearing them with more venom than you'd expect, considering how neutral his on-air reporting has been. Zinn seemed to think he was just complaining about the protesters fouling up traffic, and whoever is manipulating these posts spun it to make him look critical of the movement as a whole. Just like the Augmented I journalist. This Charlie fellow is the one we need to talk to.
Anything else we can find here? At least you think it's an animal? I'm having trouble identifying it. Initial cross-references with the California Humane Society's legal pet species database are not yielding fast results. Oh, that's not relevant. The plant survived. But what about this gaping hole here? Broken window. Shredded jade plant. The flawless foliage hath fallen. Why, though?
My thermal sensors only detect a single set of lingering footprints, and they end almost 3 feet away from the window. Considering the density of this glass, I can't imagine Zinn jumped from that far and managed to throw herself through the pane without help. But who could have done it? I don't see any obvious marks on the floor or any other thermal hotspots.
I'm telling you, it's a ROM. That's why there's no thermal hotspots. The same as the people who attacked us. They were following us. They gotta be, right? Because it was right after we left. This happened 30 seconds after we left her office. You're saying no one else was in here?
It doesn't look like it. We should go. There isn't anything else here, and the police are almost on the scene.
Son of a...
Oh, shit.
I should have figured the two of you would be here. You just won't stay out of trouble no matter what I say, will you?
No, it's not to do with us this time. This is a total misunderstanding.
I assure you, Detective Rivers, we are merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had an appointment with Zinn to discuss a possible lead and found her office in this state of disrepair.
Of course you did. Damn it. Fine, fine. Get the hell out of here before anyone else shows up.
Thanks.
We'll chat about the case more when I'm not busy scraping bodies off the pavement. You hear me?
Thanks, man.
Certainly, Detective Rivers. I'll forward you a report of what we know immediately, and we can speak further at a later time.
Yeah, whatever. Get moving.
Whew.
Yeah, Turing did lie just now a little bit because we already had the appointment. Why did you lie to Lexi? We could have told her about the articles.
Because it's better this way. We are chasing smoke trails. You think she would assist such an unlikely investigation?
Yeah, I guess if someone isn't gonna assist, then it's better to just not tell them about it, because the less people know, the better.
I do not need you to infer upon my motivations or highlight my duplicity.
Whoa, he's angry at me.
Detective Rivers has every bit of information that Zinn gave us on that computer. Her investigation will not be hampered by our absence, whereas ours is halted if we're stuck giving answers she can just as well get from a hard drive. Literally. Has it occurred to you that whoever threw Zinn out of that window could be after the same thing we are, except to silence the story rather than to get it out?
Yes?
We have little time for fooling about and must get to Charlie Nova before something happens to him too.
Okay.
Now, unless you have further recriminations to level at me, we must not squander the time my dishonesty bought us.
Okay, I was just asking. You don't gotta be so defensive about it.
I have highlighted the main Neo SF offices for TMI Entertainment on your map. Let's go!
Alright. We're going to TMI Entertainment. I guess we're gonna save the other place for later, huh? Flower Mansion?